Hey all. Hey, I was listening to some Doors, and I got onto the Isle of Wight set. Maybe a little bit past their prime, but still great stuff. And I think When the Music's Over is probably my favorite Doors tune. It's got everything that's great about the Doors. But anyway, the live ones have that long introduction where everybody kind of chills out, and Ray just does sort of a one-note jam for a little bit, which is fantastic. I love the live ones. So I was listening to that Isle of Wight one, and really got me thinking, you know what? Robbie's just sort of doing blues licks through most of the verses and stuff. The solo is a whole separate thing, but let's talk about the main parts of the song. On the live one and on the studio one, it kind of starts with da-da-da-da-da-da. On that low E, you're in E minor. And he just wails on that. 2, 3, 4 of those. And then the important thing is when you end it and it comes into it starts to mellow out and get to the verse, he hits the A harmonic at 7. And from there, you're into it sort of gets the groove down, and you're waiting for Jim to come in, and he's... That's a lick that he does a lot. Does a lot in it. D at 2. Open G. G at 2. I mean, that's bluesy, right? When the music's over, right? I mean, he does basically sort of E minor pentatonic, but he sticks that 6th note. So, to get into some of the licks, instead of doing normally with blues playing, you probably bend up the G string at the 2nd fret, but instead he sort of slides up to it, the 4th fret on the G string. Slide it down to 2 and then off to nothing. To that D at the 2nd fret. That's the lick that he does a bunch of times. And in the live ones, he'll actually do... He does it as a true blues lick and hits the B string, that 7th note, the B string at the 3rd fret. And then here's a lick he does a lot. That's hammer on all of the strings starting with the A through the B at 2. Go to that same lick you just did. That stuff, and that's all just bluesy. The only thing that's different is you normally wouldn't include the B string at the 2nd fret. You probably do it at the 3rd fret for a more bluesy minor pentatonic, but he does it as a 6th. So when it gets to when the music's over, right, that's D to E minor. Almost like that End of the Night song. So I do that as D. Same 3 strings. E, B, G. go back into it. So after that, right, that's just a B7. So that G, B at 4, and high E at 7. And then the high E goes from 7 to 5. Then it does go through it again. Right, that's A. Music is your special friend. Now, I think that's an E5. It's on fire. This is music is your only friend. Right, that last one is just a D, except you're suspend. In fact, you could do just 3 fingers. B7. Now it goes into that weird, freaky solo. There's a lot of stuff he's doing. I think on the studio one, he overdubbed a few different solos going on at the same time. Live ones, he does some weird things, a lot of weird scales, and but one thing he sort of does when on the live ones, he does things like that. Same thing he did down here at the second fret. He'll do those up at 12, but he also does this one. Like atonal things like that with 11 to 12 on each string. He does that stuff. He'll do it up here, it sounds like. You know, whatever. He does that hammer-on thing a lot with an open string and then to some fret. Like he does that in the end. You know, all that stuff that he does in the end. Of course, he's tuned down to D on that low E string. But if you approach that as a blues tune, if you had a singer who could get away with with the poetry part, that might be a fun one to do. A little keyboard guitar blues jam battle. But anyway, I thought it might be, as a lesson, it might be instructive to think of that as a blues tune with blues licks in it, because you know I don't think of I mean they did Roadhouse Blues, they did some of that kind of stuff, but I guess Cars Hiss By My Window, that's another one. There are some that are almost straight blues, but I don't, as much as Jim wanted to think of them as a blues band, especially in the late period of the Doors, I don't think of them as a blues band. I don't think of Robbie as a blues player. But there are blues licks in his playing, so he does have that sort of influence, and you can hear it. But a really cool one to just kind of jam along with and try to, if you're just looking to expand your own style of playing, try to put yourself in Robbie Krieger's head and maybe solo like him, or what I think is more fun is take your own sensibility and bring it to a Doors tune and how you would play when the music's over. So put on like the Isle of Wight one and play along with it, but play your version of it, you know, and whatever influences you have, bring that to it. So a good one to have fun with, and my favorite Doors tune when the music's over. Good luck.